Guys, Sunstreaker Water here. Welcome back to another live stream. Yes, we're here with all the important Transformers Earth Wars news every Thursday. Yeah, I know it's not Thursday, guys. Apologies. We did want to stream on Thursday, but there's a few technical things behind the scenes where they're trying to switch over to Tessa. We finally saw they got it sorted today, so we're able to stream today at least rather than Thursday. So we are still going through the newsletter as usual. I know the event's already over for pretty much everyone, which we'll talk about as well. But today's stream, we are going to talk about a lot of fixes coming to the game. Behind the scenes, Dale's been doing a shed load of work to try and clean the game up. It's quite scary as well how much he actually has cleaned up, which sort of says that, we were always sort of pushing, saying like, things aren't working as they should, and it was frustrating that things aren't working. And so this kind of highlights how many things weren't actually working that have been fixed. So it's really good that they're finally actually addressing them though. Talk a bit about that. We're going to be talking about 5-star batches. I've had a lot of questions about which one's the best was I should have pulled from the current one. So we're going to be rating the batches as we do as always. Giving them a sort of score out of 25, and you can go and look at that then and see which actual batch is the best. This is for Autobots, obviously, so your Decepticon, it will slightly change because of combiner pieces, so apologies. I'm going to hit freeze up, ask him to try and do a Decepticon one. It will help a bit, I think, because the ratings will be different, and he'll obviously know better than me, so I'll hit him up and ask him if he can do a Decepticon one as well. Then we're going to be looking at 5-star Titans. So our first look, now they are being balanced, so they are not finished. But we're going to be making that judgment again on whether it is absolutely critical content that I sort of commented about a few weeks ago, or whether you can maybe give it a miss. Talk a bit about that as well. And then lastly, also looking at the endurance bots, Armada, Scavenger and Wheeljack. Available next week. Very last minute again. We were sort of promised beginning of the year that concept will be coming out better with more testing coming out sooner. They were saying that they want to get it in testing sooner, so we have a good few weeks to test and it coming out a good 2 or 3 weeks before the event. But we've literally just got the bot a week before the event. Very limited testing, so we're going to put it through its paces as always, give you my judgment on whether it's worth going for as well. All that, and as always guys, if you have got any comments, stick it in the chat, any questions, and I will do my best to try and answer them as well. Yeah, shoot. So let's have a look who we've got in the chat. So obviously I appreciate it's WrestleMania weekend, people watching WrestleMania, but it's not started yet, I don't think. I think it's later on tonight. I think my daughter wants to watch some of it, so I think it's like 1 AM over here, which is about 3 hours time, I think. So yeah, I appreciate everyone that's tuning in though, and I'll sort of, prompt to stream. We've got Ricky Lau, thanks for joining in. We've got Blade19, one of my members as well. Thank you for being a member. We've got Anton Tun, is that right? Number 1. Thanks for being a member as well, much appreciated. Thanks for joining the stream. Tracks Penny Lancaster, as always, thanks for joining. We have got Erod, we've got Chris Wahausen as well. A bit of talk about the event, which we'll be touching upon as well. We've got Blazes 8N. I'm doing fine. Hope you are as well. Yes, thanks. Jason Rowley as well. We've got Giga. We've got Carnage Macite. We've got Brian Leonard. Good to see you back as well. Thank you for joining us. We've got Star 68 as well, and we've got Ialgo Rhythm. Thanks for joining as well. And yes, it's going all right. It's going fine. Yeah. We've been out today, did a bit of shopping with the kids. Jake has got some birthday money, so he's been buying some clothes, went for something to eat. Had a bit of a day out. So Dale sort of hit me up and said, are you going to stream? I was like, if we get back in time and I can test this stuff, then yes, but I need some time to test it. Because literally, he only gave me the code today. But I always knew I was going to stream it tonight, so no rush. So yeah, got back in time. And then we can test this new stuff. Cool. Right, let's jump into news. Let's jump straight to it. So, Barry Grana with Nenny Bong. This weekend's event is Unseen Enemy. So, it was supposed to be a 10-point event. Some decent rewards with some hunting crystals, stuff like that. The hunting crystals containing some Prems, Combat Spark, Combat Chips, Combiner Spark. And it says one big prize, 2%. So the big prize is things like upgrade skips, basically. A non-dupe 4-star crystal, which I believe you get is worth 500 5-star shards. So pretty decent, but building upgrade skips, troop upgrade skips, so some really good stuff in there. But the problem being, what, it's supposed to be a 10-point event. I think they changed it from 10 prestiges to 5. I think they changed it to with the same rewards, or making it half the battles. They wanted to make it quite an easy event. I think when they did the maths, they realized it was quite big for Easter. People are busy. It's a holiday. I get it. But what they actually did was they changed it so the point tally was normal points. So literally, I attacked in zone 16 I think it is in this event. Attacked in zone 16 with a few bots and activated my combiner. Hit it once. Didn't even realise that what points I was on, because don't forget, when you hit and then go back into the screen again, you don't get the reward until you back out. So hit once, alright, went back in again with another team, did another attack, won that one. They went event end, event over. Like, what? I was like, at first I thought that they'd ended the event early or something. I was like, what's going on here? And then sort of went and looked and realised I'd got all these rewards for the whole event, and it was finished. Like, what? So straight away went in Cybertron chat thinking, I'm going to say, like, has anyone seen this? And then just saw event over, event done, 2 battles, event done. So literally, like, everyone was doing 2 battles, event was over. So yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of it. Yeah, it's great because you get the weekend to yourself, but a bit disappointing for me because I was trying to level some bots. It's endurance week next week, so at that point, really, I still wasn't sure we're going for the bot or not. So endurance week, I wanted to get. I've pulled a few more bots as well. Some guaranteed pulls, so I've got Inferno now. Going to level him up in preparation for HQ 19, but more about that another week. Springer obviously trying to get up. Optimus Prime trying to get up. So trying to level these bots to 51. That was the idea. We get him through the lab, get them leveled to 50, get them through the lab 51 this week, and have them ready for next week. But can't do that now. So got to make some other plans. And put them bots on the back burner. But it's not too bad because they're not essential bots that I'm missing, anything like that, that I desperately need. But it is a bit disappointing nonetheless. But it is what it is. But I think they should have started the event again. I'm just going, listen, keep what you've got and we'll give you another load. I know some might say that's not fair for everyone else, maybe, but I don't know. I just think that, you know, I wanted to level some bots. I'm a bit disappointed, really. So, yeah. But decent rewards, though. You can see the XP increment. So 13,000% XP, 1,300% XP. But when you did all the battles, you didn't. If you did 240 obviously point battle, you didn't get 24 times the XP. You still just got the normal XP. So we got that XP twice. That's what I got. So not much. Game update and information. I was talking about the new bots. We're going to be taking a look at them. And then Saga schedule, as we said, Easter this week with the endurance event next week. Go and check out your content creators. Obviously myself, obviously Soldier, obviously Freezes Max. Then we've got Security Corner. Pretty cool drawing. I'll give them that. I don't mind it. I don't really like the Bay Farmers, but they are cool drawings, no doubt. Then we've got staff picks. Vanessa. Not sure who Vanessa is. Provides all our localization. Okay. But she's picked Nightbird. Oh, Nightbird and Waspinator. So two. Nightbird is fast, elusive, and deadly. She's great for sneaky attacks and messing with defenses. Has this been copied off Wiki? I feel like it has. Yeah, it's definitely been copied off Wiki. It's like, it's not something someone would put. I might be wrong, but I'm willing to doubt it's just copied off Wiki. Don't think they've learned since last time when Hyro did that, and we're like, Hyro doesn't care. Next stream is this Thursday. It's not the 17th of April as advertised because of the test server being broken and things like that. So they've pushed it forward to next week, which is still a bit last minute. I think part of it as well was that the bot is not balanced. So yeah, not great. And that is the news. So, ooh, there we go. Cool. So in the chat, just got Raywave X who said how much spark was lost. I don't know what you mean by how much spark was lost. Don't know what you mean. Let me know. Let me know what you think. So I'll look at some of the chats that everyone's put in. Trax has put that $9.99 bundle they sold with 500 or whatever egg stuff was really worth it. What? What? $9.99 bundle with 500 eggs? I've not seen that. Where was that? Is that still available? Let me know. 500 eggs. Kind of like writers put they should have put XP farming open. Yeah, there's a lot of sort of comments about that before the event saying that just a minute. Saying that, yeah, there should have been more XP available, should have gone higher, should have been a single prestige rather than prestiges, because I don't think they can do it on prestige events. So yeah. Blades 8N has put anything noticeable changes already, like buffs and nerfs, any updated already. We're gonna talk a bit about that. There's so many to be actually going through. Yeah, there is some more buffs. Obviously talking about the nerfs last week. But there is some sort of buffs that are coming, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about right now, actually. Let's close this down. Go on the test server. There we go. So while we're talking about sort of fixes and stuff like that, so Dale's been working behind the scenes to fix a lot of things. Like I said, in the game, he actually sent me a message today saying that he'd fixed 4,500 things. Now, granted, some of them are tooltips. A lot of them are tooltips. A lot of them are the sort of stun, disable changes, but 4,500 changes. So obviously, when you hear me say, you know, I thank Dale a lot for what he's doing behind the scenes and what he's been doing for the game, you know, 4,500 changes in the past, say, month. So you can see that he's working endlessly. And I think he does enjoy it, what he's doing, because he's sort of cleaning the game up, making it better, buffing some things along the way that weren't quite working right. So, yeah, really pleased that Dale's working on that and trying to fix these things. And I said, listen, I still don't think that you're even like halfway through. I honestly think that you got twice the work still to go. I think you got another 4,500 fixes to go through, honestly. Maybe not 4,500, but there's a lot of things still not fixed, which has sort of gone through. A lot of things that we've sort of took for granted, like I talk about the launch pad, where you place your bots. It's never accurate. I said that never has been since the game's concept, but we've sort of accepted that that's part of the game, weirdly enough. But I've seen many a time where I've dropped my bots, I've had to press off the screen to get them where I want them to be, and it's not always exactly right either, especially doing prime rushes, stuff like that. You can drop a bot in the wrong place, then all of a sudden it is Transformers mine, something like that. Just 1 second. Sorry. What was up to now? I forgot what I was up to. Sorry, getting a bit loud. That's not quiet. But that's train of thought now. But yeah, lots of fixes obviously being done behind the scenes. So much obliged. Oh, about the launch pad, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the amount of times that I've failed a war attack because I've dropped a bot in the wrong place and hit a mine has been astounding, honestly, over the years. So needs a massive change, massive fix. So hopefully they can fix that as well. Prime Rush has been broken for so long. Lots of these things that need sort of changing. So, you know, all these things sort of need to be looked at. We've also looked at a lot already. So looking forward to it. But Dale has posted an update. and there's so much to go through. I mean, wow. Um, so much. Honestly, I can't even go through it. The amount that he's done. I'll try and pick some big ones out. Um, Trenchfoot and Caliburst now more consistent. Um, Red Zeke now deals damage per second and classified as fire. It wasn't always. Fixed Fireline Top Shot VFX. Um, some acid abilities were marked as fire, so obviously got resisted against fire calls but not acid calls. Weirdly enough, Razor Claw and Blitzwing now deal fire damage like Grimlock and Skylanks do with their passives. Same with Storm, Clash and Viper. They both do acid passive. Same as Rock and Blot, they get acid as well. Sunstreaker and Swindle G1 Power Core wasn't increasing damage. Magnaboss Tripredicus, both are fire. Both were different previously. All fire abilities are now acting like fire. Nightstick and Fracas tooltip has been updated. Also, the acid damage wasn't recognized as acid. Bashbreaker and Gabu damage will now be per second for 5 seconds. Dive Bomb and Windblade now have the same passive because Dive Bomb had one, Windblade didn't. Grapple and Dirtbag now do the stated damage when the mine exploded. It did less before. They also fixed Grapple and Dirtbag's G1 passes to Inferno and Rodimus, as Inferno didn't do the passive that Rodimus does. Now they both do. Trailbreaker and Exhaust Reflex Shield was incorrectly making them immune to disables. Rook's Decoy now taunts defenses. Warrior's Taunting has been improved. Green Kremzeek now damages per second. I think all the Kremzeek have been changed some way to improve. All the EMP Blast, Incendiary Barrage, Field Repair, Titan Beams, a lot of them just been changed. Night Stalker and Ravage are coming soon. Planning to give them double damage during stealth. Stripes and Glit, Planet giving them a healing buff. Victory Leo and Tiger Chest work with more bots rather than just Star Saber or Deathosaurus, but they'll get more of a bonus. Flak and Crater Maker, we're giving a damage boost. Optimus Prime and Megatron working on sorting out the ability, making it better. Jazz and Mixmaster, I think they're going to look at cost versus damage. Sludge and Straxus, inconsistency with wall damage, that's been sorted out. Hoist and Crankcase, healing was fixed as it was slightly less than the tooltip. Hoist 5-star range been increased to match the 4-star. Sunstreaker and Swindle, no longer approximate damage, it's actual damage now. Cheeto Black Arachnia have got overkill damage reduction, so they won't get hit by a very big bolt or something. This kills them during ability. Mortal Master and Rodimus have got a buff, the G1 core, sorry. Spring and National Train have been refactored. It should now work more consistently. I'm not sure why that is, whether it's the healing, whether it's the damage, or what it is. Grimlock and Razor Claw G1 was only giving a 6% health boost. Now gives 80. I think that's wrong, the G1. I don't know about that. The actual bot maybe was only giving 60 rather than 80, I think. Lightspeed and Iron Bison now scales properly from 6 to 12. Shield and absorptions and immunities and health increases and knockback, disable immunities and taunt now use templates, so it's the same for all. So when they change something behind the game and give a bot something, it'll be the same. They have to make the same for every single one. Fire, Acid and Electric now tick every second and have the same VFX, so it's consistent. And then just recently, all the stealth systems have been rebuilt, including Mirage's G1 and Slash's G1. Slash and Ripper Snapper, their G1 now correctly get their 1.5 times DPS when stealth, so they've got a damage increase. They were still getting attacked while in stealth, that's been fixed. Same with taunts. All stun references are now done, so it's all disabled now. There's no longer stun in the game. Or when the update comes in. The Chromia Tower ability 11 Glass Gas has gone from 25 to 40%. That's a good buff for Chromia. Glitch and Gator Face, Glass Gas now scales 10, 20, 30, 40%, which before was 10, 15, 20, 25. Flak and Crater Maker now scale with Power Core and rank DPS boosts, so they increase as they go up with the ranks and stuff. Spore Sport and Aimless, they now scale with our DPS buffs. And also with Sport and Aimless, the bounce reduction is now gone minus 10% per bounce rather than minus 20, which is a buff. It used to do 100, 80, 60, 40. Now it does 100, 90, 80, 70. The striker roll now increases smash DPS as well as every other DPS. Squad cores boost fire, acid, and electric now. Styler and Sunbeam have been fixed because they weren't working properly. Reworked how range reduction works. I think they were doing it at 0 and then bots was walking at defenses. So now it's like 0.1. So they'll just attack melee or very close. So yeah, Lightspeed reduces range by 95% because 100% would break the melee attacks. Fixed a bug with Dazzle Strike and Geese that the range reduction was stuck at 4 seconds across all star levels. Now it scales. And the Prime Core building and bot now uses glass visuals so you can see what's happening. And that isn't everything. That's just the most recent changes that I've come across. There's actually even more that's been gone on before that, and there's more to come. So you can see there that there's absolutely loads going on behind the scenes. So I know that people are not happy with that. We're going to see a nerf to Beachcomber and to maybe Blue Streak and to Ruination, God Neptune, and to Leo Prime, maybe Optimus as well. And I know these are all getting a bit of a nerf, but they're not going to be taken out of oblivion, so they're no longer relevant. Excuse me. They're going to be scaled back so they fit in with every other bot pretty much, and then obviously plenty of bots, as you can see, are getting buffs. There's also talking about a few other things getting a bit, not nerfed, but some cost changes across the board, across a lot of bots. So what I think we'll find is, a lot of older bots will become more relevant, or at least semi-relevant in some way. And a lot of the newer bots that are really, really OP, I think will sort of fit just straight into the meta and just sort of become good bots rather than massively overpowered and must-have bots. So really excited to see all these changes come in. It's going to be a massive update. It's going to take a long time to update the game when it comes out, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a cleaner game. It's going to be better games. Things are going to work as they are, and I'm excited for these changes and can't wait. Let's see what everyone's put in the chat. Blade 9 and Sport 19 is Sport, sorry, not the Blade 9. Just proves how broken the game was and did not even care. So I will say fair play to Dale. It's not that they didn't care; they just didn't have the time. They didn't have the time to do these things. They didn't have enough people in the stream, to be fair. So yeah. So have a look. JNNX, thank you for joining the stream. They never cared about free-to-play players. I disagree with that in a way. You got to think that they have to make money. I think there's some things should be better free-to-play friendly. I do agree. I don't think that they don't think about free-to-play players ever. I think that some things are too highly monetized. So I kind of partly agree with you that not that they don't think about free-to-play players, but things are too highly priced. But you got to remember that the game just has to make money, or the game would not be here. And so, but everything should be available at a point free to play. And I think it kind of is for events eventually, further down the line. I just think that's a bit too long sometimes. Sometimes these free to play things take a long time to come into the game, and then a long time because they're overpriced. I did have a conversation with Hyro about this, and he did say he's going to think about it. I do believe him. Seems sincere, but whether it happens or not, who knows? But yeah, I think he just realised now that the way he's pricing things is pricing everyone at the game, not just free-to-play players or low spenders. So we'll wait and see. What changes they make. Joseph Chirillo's put, glad they restored to work properly the game. Yeah, and Mean47 has just put, I feel he's awesome. All talk about Blue Streak, but the ability cost is too much than Smokescreen. Yeah, but you got to think it does a lot more than Smokescreen. Mayo Zambiano's put, I don't think Dale gets enough credit for his work on his cleanup. We must make it clear on stream so Yanis can see this is what they should be doing. Yeah, I listen. I think Dale's brilliant. I won't hear a bad word said about Dale, honestly, because he does so much for this game, even in his free time. And honestly, like I said, I get that sometimes he might rub people up the wrong way. Not everyone can like everyone, and I get it's annoyed some people, but you can't deny his dedication to the game. And I've always said to him that I think this game would have been gone a long time ago if it wasn't for Dale. I've said that honestly. I think that with this happening, this sort of leaving the studio, I think if Dale wasn't there, this would have been a point where they probably closed the game. But thanks to Dale and his sort of dedication to the game and pushing the game forwards, I feel like he's the driving force behind it. Um, Carnage Macarite report. I think it was said that the Earth Wars teams run the game as they see fit, and Yoda one just happy as long as the game makes money. Yeah, that is exactly it. That is exactly what they've said. Yoda one have said, listen, as long as you're making money, we are not bothered. Keep going. So, yeah. Um, but you still got to remember this is all been done because they want to introduce Nurse to the game. That's not exactly right. It's not that they want to introduce Nurse, trying to hide it. Yeah, I suggested today, I said, listen, if you are going to do some of these nerfs, which I think they need to do, the balancing is done in most games. They have balancing every 6 months or so. And I think things do need to be balanced. There are things that are massively underpowered in the game. Some things are massively overpowered. And so it needs balancing out. Um, but I think there are a few things that are overpowered. I think there are a lot of things that are underpowered. And so I said today, I said, you'll be buffing more than you nerf. As long as you realise that, then I'm all for it. And I'm fine with it, I get it. But I get that people are going to be annoyed because they're invested in bots. But then there are other bots to level. And I understand that people are going to be annoyed. But this is sadly how games work. If you're not used to these sort of games, then I get you're going to be a bit annoyed because you're not used to this. But sadly, this is how games operate. They do nerf and buff things constantly and change things. And as long as, for me, as long as the buffs are more than the nerfs, then I'm quite happy. Even if it's some of the content, because I understand that it's overpowered. When I bought that content, when I leveled that content, I understood I was getting that bot because it was overpowered. And one day that might change. When it was a meta change, when it was a bug fix, whatever it is, you got to understand that it happens. Also, what Phil's put, I'll trust not to destroy Leo Primary Nation when it happens. Well, I think that's down to playtest as well. I think a bit as well. We don't want to nerf the bots into, to the point where they're useless. I think you've got good bots like Sea Spray, like Rook, bots like that, and I imagine that the likes of Leo Prime, Optimus, Blue Streak will go in line with them. I think the problem with Blue Streak is not what he does. I think it's that you can use him multiple times and get a lot of use out of him. And I think they'll change his cost. I really do. I had a conversation with about Dale, and I was like, I don't think Blue Streak's that bad. And then when we started looking at the numbers, I was like, well, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying, but I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's like Leo Prime bad, or maybe even Optimal Optimus. When I compared him to Optimal Optimus, I didn't think he was that bad. Optimal Optimus was a lot more damage, but obviously a shorter range, and so we talked about range versus damage versus, the class of the bot, things like that. And I think a cost change might come to Blue Streak. I think it might go a bit more expensive because they don't want you using a bot 2 or 3 times, 4 times in a battle. They want you maybe using each bot once or twice. That's, for me, is balance. If you've got a team of 8 bots and you're using each ability once or twice, that is balanced. I've always said this in the past. If you're using a bot 3 or 4 times in a battle, it is overpowered. It is, guys, and you can't deny that. It is. But listen, there's more bots than that are overpowered. There is. I could list off about 10 maybe bots that are overpowered. My Zombie House put, is this Dale's job now? Is he not community? Well, I think they've got obviously Callum in to sort of help him with that. With Dale overseeing it, but Dale just helping out the team doing these bits as well. That's why they restricted the topic of it. It's not been restricted, but everyone's talking about it like, oh, it's ridiculous. And no one knows what's going to happen yet. Wait till they've done it. If you're not happy with it, then complain. But you've got to understand that it is happening. It is happening. That's not going to change. They're not going to change their mind. It is happening. How much depends on the playtesters and the apes to the degree, and then what level to sort of agree at, and that's it. And you got to wait for that. And if you're gonna say, listen, any reduction, I'm not gonna be happy with, then you're not gonna be happy. It is what it is. But if you understand that there is gonna be a reduction, from what I've heard, I don't want to say too much because it's happen, but I'm not too disappointed with it. I think he'll still be good for events. I think he'll still be good for leveling. I think he'll be less effective in wars. If I'm honest with you, and I think that's probably what they want. Because at the minute, people can sort of destroy a lot of high level bases with Ruination, one bot, and a Titan, and that's not balanced for a top level base. Oh, congratulations, Razorhorn74, who says his nephew was born this morning. Congratulations. Trackspin Lancaster support is taking 9 years to hire. What's realized prices are too high. I don't know. I know. Mean 47 put they want Victory Leo Tiger to be available to all bots. Not all bots, but more bots. Not all. Yeah, Justin Brilliant just bought. I just hope Ruination isn't nerfed so much like quality of life in Zen farming, packs Zen farming, and in Zone 15 during events. I don't think it will. I think Zone 15 will be fine. I think Zen farm will be fine. I really do. Honestly, from what I've sort of heard, what they're sort of thinking about doing, I think it's pretty good. It won't be as effective as he is, but it's pretty good still. Dread81's put does sound like Spacey introducing nerfs, stealth nerfs. There's no stealth nerfs. I can't remember a single nerf where they've done it and not announced it since it's happened. There's been bugs that have happened, they've not known about it, then they've gone to fix it. But I've never heard of any stealth nerfs at all. I think every nerf has either been announced beforehand or they've done it and then announced it. Either way, you can criticize them for not announcing it first, but it's always been announced, I think. Autobot Phil, why nerf bots right now when we go to a new HQ and power creep nerfs? Then naturally, that's a valid argument. That's the one I will give you, the one argument, because I had that argument as well. I was like, why not wait until HQ 19? And I kind of say that I think that their point is that that's a year away, and for them a year is a long time, but for us, like, it's not that long really. But I think they want to fix the game now. I think that's the idea, and they can balance HQ 19 already. So I think what they want to do is they don't want to balance HQ 19 around these overpowered bots, and then the other bots become even less relevant, and you're sort of chasing a bit. So I think that's the idea. Do we know the name of the new Titan? No, not yet. Nothing's been announced. Justin Brilliant's put make Volcanicus great. Yeah, he does need a buff. Trax Penlanka support. I think a lot of the nerfs that are coming is going to cause even top players to struggle at HQ 19. I agree, but then maybe it just needs balancing, right? But everyone struggles when new HQ comes out. Everyone does. Trax Penlanka support. You can't say a bot is overpowered because I might spam an ability and you don't. I take the risk of not having any ability points left in my strategies. That's where the balance is. I still disagree, because that's always been the way. That if you're using the bot 3 or 4 times because you can, because you've got enough cost. So, you know, and it's not like, let's be honest, it's not like you're using all your ability points up, because you're getting quite a few back from what's destroyed. So, Mario Zambiano's put, it's sad to see so many fixes and buffs and we still talk about one combine. I agreed. Let's just get over it. It's gonna happen. Wait till it's happened, and then we can talk about it. Dread81 has put Razor Claw the best example. Slightly less damage, more health, class change, but perfectly useful. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, Grimlock, one of the most prominent figures in the Transformers new, not Earthworld, but Transformers universe, and they've done him justice. I think really good bot. Yeah. Algorithms put there was a video in the Legacy Batch channel that shows how they're trying to improve Omega Supreme. Yeah, there is. So they are working to improve Omega Supreme as well. So that'll be interesting as well. But yeah, like I said, they are working a lot behind the scenes to sort of try and get these things a bit better. So yeah, cool. Next up, Now we're going to rate all the 5-star batches. So we're going to do this again, where literally all we're going to do is going to put each bot into a box of a meta bot, obviously great bot, people using in top wars, a good bots that you can use in top wars that are, you know, decent around there, situationally good where you can use them in some bases, maybe not others, maybe they counter quite heavily. Then we've got number 2, okay for resources, so yeah, they'll be alright, you can use them, they'll do a bit of a job, but I won't be using them in top wars. And then we've got don't bother, as in like avoid them. If you get a batch and you've got these bots left to pull, just don't go back, leave them. Obviously these things might change when the balancing changes come in, we don't know, but all we can do is go off right now. So hitting it off, we've got obviously batch 1, Silbolt, Hot Rod, Grimlock, Sunstreaker and Gnaw. So we're gonna put I'm gonna put Silbolt in 3, simply because obviously he's a really good bot, amazing range, but obviously with the anti-stun cause affects his ability, and then being quite prevalent, I'd say he's situationally good. He is situationally very good, I would say, but yeah, only in some attacks, maybe backdoor attacks and some bases. Next we've got Hot Rod. Hot Rod is really, really good on defenses, on defense protect some defenses. Not so much anymore, we don't see him as much, so I'm gonna put him in here okay for resources. Obviously counted quite heavily from the FFD, so not the best. Then we've got Grimlock. I think Grimlock's really good, quite impressed with Grimlock. I think he's underutilized in top wars. Very, very good bot. Next we've got Sunstreaker, again probably good for resources, nothing much there really. And then Gnaw, probably the same. He's okay, I'd stick him in a team, but I wouldn't be chasing him. That's about it. So batch 1, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points out of possible 25, obviously. So batch 2, we've got Optimus Prime. So I'd say situationally good because his ability doesn't always work, which is quite frustrating. Can be using some top wars to pull him to help your path in and to pull him to one side. But obviously Buggy doesn't always pull the bots. If they fix him, I think he'd go up to 4, maybe 5. Honestly, if he was fixed and really working, but currently not. Then we've got Wheeljack. I think Wheeljack's really good. I like his speed up. Obviously, probably for me the second best healer in the game, I would say. But yeah, very good. Then we've got Drift. I would put Drift in here. Honestly, really, really good. Can be used in front-loaded bases to kill the HQ. This got a bit of a shielded core on the HQ. That could be a bit of a problem. But I think the Drift is really, really good. Then we've got Windblade. I really wouldn't bother. I suppose she might be alright for the resources, but I'm not going back for her. She's one bot in that batch that I haven't pulled yet, and I'm really not going to bother. And then we've got Skyburst. Skyburst, another one. Really, really awful. I suppose you could use Windblade for sack, maybe situational, but I think there's better bots out there. You just don't see anyone using Windblade anymore. So we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 again for batch 2. Then we've got Cheeto. Literally, don't bother. Absolutely awful right now. Not kept up with meta. He was obviously up maybe 4 a few years ago. Ultra Magnus. Again, don't bother right now. I mean, he is getting a buff soon, part of the Legacy project. But right now, definitely down there. Jazz, don't bother. Literally down there as well. Absolutely awful. Firefly. I think put in there. I think as a jet is good for triggering other abilities like air raid and stuff like that. It can be used for resources and lower levels. That's about it. And then Springer, I think Springer's really good. I really like Springer. Good for back doors. Good for sort of split attacks and healing. So I'm quite impressed with Springer. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 25. So a disaster. Next we've got batch 4. First off we've got Blaster. Blaster's fell down a lot. I think okay for resources is maybe a bit harsh. So I think situationally can be quite good. I wouldn't be putting him in my war team and hunting for him, but I think he's quite good. Elita's jumped up. She's been used as a sack bot quite a lot with a G1 core, giving her invulnerability. Really helps. Sludge, literally don't bother. Absolutely awful. I suppose I could put in situational for sludge attacks. They're coming back a bit for some of the high level bases. But I'm sure you could probably do it without sludge either, so not that decent. Prowl, I would say okay for resources. Is alright. It's a bit outdated. And then Ratchet, I mean, he's not as good as Wheeljack. I'll put him in situational because he's not as good as Wheeljack for me. He's got similar sort of healing, but it's a speed up with Wheeljack that really helps getting through those op bots. So Ratchet goes in situational is alright. So we've got 4, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13 for batch 4. Batch 5, we've got Rodimus. So literally for me, don't bother. I've tried him in a few different teams like Russian Smash, but he just doesn't have the same effect anymore. Perceptor, I've got to say the same. He's in that batch, and I've not pulled him and not bothered. Snarl, I'm literally going to put him in there as well. Similar. RC, I think she's alright for resources. She'll fit in a team. She'll do a job. But that's about it. And then we've got Warpath. I don't think Warpath's as good as he once was. I don't think he's like the bot to get anymore. But he's still very good. You still see him in a lot of war teams. But he's not like the #1 bot that was to get not too long ago. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 25. Wow. Next up, we've got Goldfire. I think it's okay for resources because there's quite good damage, but that's about it. We've got Rust Dust. Situation. No, that's a bit no. Okay for yeah. I've got it in my resource team. So yeah, Hotspot absolutely awful. Nowhere near good enough compared to other warriors. First aid, similar to Ratchet, is alright, but there's better healers out there. And then Sandstorm, I think is really good. I think it was G1 core, giving a good health buff. He's become actually really, really good. So good bot. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of 25. Next up, we've got batch 7. This was actually one of the best batches around. Where we did the old sort of ratings. Let's have a look where we are now. So we've got Smokescreen. So Smokescreen is still a massive meta bot. You'll see him in a lot of war teams. Great at taking build bots out. Absolutely immense. Then we've got Jetfire. I think we've got Firefly down okay for resources. So I feel like Jetfire's the same. I feel like one-shot Jets have sort of took a bit of a hit recently. Blade's really good with everyone using anti-fire, anti-acid, anti-water and FFDs. You'll find that there's not a lot of anti-hack cores, and Blades has made a bit of a comeback. Rhinox, situational good. I feel like he's alright. I feel like definitely in some resource teams, definitely in some, maybe on defense, maybe as a bot. There's definitely some lower levels, but I wouldn't say it's like one of them that you just put in your war team. Laser Optimus the same, good at sort of clearing an area, but not the bot that he once was. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 out of 25. And the highest batch so far. Then we've got batch 8. So we've got Rook. So Rook's still good. Again, not the bot that he once was, where he was like the meta. But since they've had the buff with the Warriors, he's took a bit of a back seat. But still using a lot of war teams though. Sea Spray, I think, is a meta bot. Absolutely amazing. Made a bit of a comeback. Everyone started using anti-stun cores. But because everyone's using anti-fire cores now to sort of combat Leo and Optimus, people have gone to Sea Spray. Now people are using anti-stun cores again. So it's kind of like this, that it goes round in a circle. But Sea Spray definitely making a massive comeback recently. Next we've got Swoop. I think Swoop's situationally good, so it's good on defense. They tried fixing the Big Daddy bug, but it can't be fixed apparently, so it might be here to stay. Who knows? There was talk about changing Big Daddy to combat that. I said don't do it, but we'll see. But Swoop, situationally good, very good on defense, not so much on offense. Impactor, I think he's alright on resource teams, can do quite a bit of damage, but that's about it. Then we've got B. So B, when there's no anti-stun cores, can be really good, but obviously it flies off to his death. So not so much, but could be situationally good, but it's alright if you can manage him right. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 again for batch 8. Then we've got batch 9. So straight away we've got Pipe, who goes in at the top. Absolutely immense. Still one of the best, if not the best bot in the game, or the best warrior in the game at least. Very, very good. Then we've got Skylynx. I think he's alright for resources because he does quite high damage, but tends to run off and get kills. Not the best. Slash, situationally good. You can actually slash some bases that are front loaded if they don't have the HQ core, the defense core, which stops ability damage. But yeah, same sort of similar to Drift in a way, but not quite as effective because she's a bit harder to get into range and harder to path, but still a really, really good bot. Next we've got Brainstorm. Brainstorm's taking a bit of a hit. He's still quite good. But we'll talk a bit later on about another bot that sort of took over from now. But Brainstorm's still alright, but it's still a bit expensive. Then we've got Red Alert, and then Red Alert kind of goes down to situational because it kind of fell out a bit. It was in most people's outposts, a lot of people's teams, but I think he sort of fell away a bit. Not too sure why, but they found better bots, I don't know, but he sort of falls down to situational good. And so we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for batch 9. Batch 10, bit of a mixed bag. So first off, we've got Dino, and he's okay for resources, I think. Yeah, he's alright, but that's about it. Then we've got Strafe. I'm going to say don't bother with Strafe. I think Strafe's honestly awful. Doesn't do nearly enough damage. 6 gun. Situational good. It does actually high damage. I've actually put him in an outpost recently because the amount of damage that it does. It does instant damage, quite high on defense, and actually pretty good on offense as well, clearing a few defenses out, but obviously really expensive. And similar sort of story for SG Jetfire, that he can be good in situations. He's good at taking the shield gen out if there's no healing around. Does high damage, but a high cost keeps him down in the rankings. Then we've got Minerva, best healer in the game by far, and she goes straight in at a meta bot at number 5. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for batch 10. Batch 11. First off, we've got Hound. Literally, do not bother. You could say good for resources. Yeah, I'll put him there actually, because he is really good at killing resources, but that is literally it. Blur, situational good, not what it once was. There's still quite a few flare mines out there which kills him quite quickly, hence why you don't see Slash right at the top or Drift as well, but still a decent bot. Slingshot, similar, fell down the rankings, but still alright, can do acid damage, obviously fire damage as well in an area, but with anti-acid, anti-fire cores, not as good as he once was. Twin Twist, I'm going to put a situational because absolutely amazing on defense. Still one of the top bots. Probably be a meta bot if it was for defense alone, but on offense, just find it sort of sees doesn't see quite enough damage. Then we've got Ironhide. Ironhide, I will put. I think he goes a bit lower. I don't like the electric damage, to be fair. So I think he goes a bit lower. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 25. Next, we've got batch 12. Then we've got Topspin. I think he's situationally alright. Still a bit expensive. He was in a lot of war teams, but he sort of fell away a bit and drops down. Air Raid, absolute meta bot now. Everyone's using Air Raid to sort of kill build bots and take areas out. Super cheap as well. It's really, really good. Hoist, he's actually pretty good, you know. I'll put him there. I'm actually impressed with Hoist to the point where I'm thinking about pulling him and leveling him. I think he's really good, a really good bot. Especially when I take a healer out maybe and I go one healer. So I think Hoist is really, really good. Skids dropped down a bit because the anti-acid cores not as important as it once was. And then we've got Saber. So Star Saber drops down. I mean, he's all carried for resources, getting to the back of the base on some front-loaded bases maybe. For you know, for Zen farming, things like that. But that's about it. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 for batch 12. Batch 13, one of the better batches in the game. We've got Roadbuster. I think Roadbuster's not quite the bot that it once was. He runs off and gets killed quite easily. People talk about deploying him late to try and keep him alive and pathing the right way, and think that's really why he drops down to 4 rather than 5. But obviously his damage is absolutely amazing. Got to take out defenses, but like sort of we talked about B managing him. You have to manage him. It's something you don't want to talk about or don't want to think about when you're in a battle. So but you have to. So then we've got Optimus. Straight in on meta, absolutely amazing. Rotor Storm, I think situationally you can clear out some defenses with him. Same with Sentius, very similar bots in that sense, that you can clear out a decent area. But that's about it. Then we've got Scattershot, and he's alright down here. I don't think he's awful. You see more lower level players sound how good he is because he can take out defenses, but high levels not that good. So okay for obviously resource farming. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 for batch 13. Next, we've got batch 14. So we've got Inferno. I think Inferno's pretty good. I think he'll be essential for HU19, but that's obviously a bit to go yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Next, we've got Brawn. I mean, situationally, it's good with Air Raid because of the stun. But obviously, with anti-stun cores, can kind of hit Brawn quite hard. Obviously, can't use the ability as well. And it's kind of still a bit inconsistent where it goes. You can't predict it. So he's okay. He's got good range, but he's not amazing. Whirl. I don't really like Whirl. I think Whirl's pretty crud. Whirl. But okay for resource farming. Got decent range. Aerial. Absolute crud. Don't bother with her at all. Tigerhawk. Yeah, I'm going to put Tigerhawk there. I've got Tigerhawk. I'm not even leveled him. He's not as good as Swoop. And I was going to put Resource Raids, but he's not. So he goes right down there, Tigerhawk. And so that batch gets 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 25. Next, we've got batch 15. So out of this group, originally, I only pulled Slug. So obviously, there's a few combiner parts in here, and that's why... well, a couple, I should say, that's why people have gone for this batch, really. But you've got Slug, who's absolutely amazing. Great fire damage, so goes in at the top. Let me just sort this out a minute. Next, we've got Afterbreaker. Afterbreaker, really good bot in terms of sack. In fact, no, I think it goes down to okay, because outside of sack, he's not very good, and so not for everyone. So I think it's a good bot to have, but not the best. Grapple, I think Grapple goes down. No, that's a bit harsh. No, Grapple goes there because it does decent damage on his mine, but it being a special, it just doesn't help him. He's not the best. Then we got Alpha Trion, and Alpha Trion's absolutely awful with those sort of buffs to everyone all at once. You've got to use all the abilities when you've already got Inferno in the game that just does ability damage, but you've got one that gets increase in DPS, one increase in ability damage, one gets extra protection, extra healing. Just a mixed match of bit extra for everyone. And I always say I want the bots to do something really well and do that one thing. That's it. And Alpha Trion just does a lot of things alright, but nothing good. So quite poor. So this batch gets 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, and Retgar. Sorry, yeah, I mentioned Retgar. Retgar, quite poor for the simple fact that when you drop your combiner, it gets rid of the the ability. If you've put the ability on a bot and you got the combiner, when the bots come back alive again, whatever ability you've used from Retgar doesn't work. So you have to use Retgar after your combiner dies, which is a massive, massive problem for me with him. If they fixed him, I'd put him up there as maybe a meta bot, definitely number 4. But with that sort of proviso that he has to be used after a combiner, then I wouldn't be using him there. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points for batch 15. Batch 16. So this is usually the batch that everyone says to go for, the ultimate batch. We've got Nose Cone. I think Nose Cone's pretty good. I don't like him compared to Pipes and Slug. I've got all 3, and I can use Nose Cone. It's all right, but good against walls. But I really prefer Pipes and Slug, hence why I put him a bit lower. Some might criticize him for that and say he should be up there, but I just think, I know he was one of the top bots in the Unicron War, but I just don't think he's as good as Pipes and Slug personally, and that's why I've gone down there. Leo Prime, best bot in the game by far, hence why we're talking about maybe nerfing him. Huffer, I think he's absolutely rubbish, really, honestly. I've got him, and I don't even bother even looking at him. I'd love it if Dale's trying to work on him. I'd like to push a bit higher, but I don't think it's good for resource rates. His laser ability needs improving by a lot. Blue Streak, definitely one of the best, if not the best gunner in the game. Then we got Beachcomber, I think up there as well. Even on attack, he's really good. So I think he goes up there as well. So you see there, amazing. You got 3 meta bots in that top section there. You got 5, 10, 15, 19, 20 out of 25 for batch 16, and the highest rating yet. Then we've got batch 17. Now obviously this will change for the cons because they have more combiner bots in there. But first off, we've got Cosmos. I think Cosmos is okay, situational, good on defense, but that's about it. Let me just change this a minute. What's that, guys? Cool. Next up, we've got Lightspeed. I think Lightspeed's pretty good on attack, really good on defense. I'm not a big fan of him on attack. I know some people are criticizing for that, saying he's really, really good. But I think he's all right, but I think he's really good on defense. I can see his appeal on reducing range and things like that. So really, really good. Metal Hawk, I've not really used him, but from what people said, that he can be really good. Maybe even a meta bot up there, really. He is someone I'm considering getting in the next 5-star batch. If I pull from it, that's the only bot I really want. I've got Lightspeed already. Metal Hawk's probably the only bot outside that I want. Chromia is absolutely awful. What they've done to her is a travesty. She's gone absolutely awful. She would probably have been up here situation before or something like that, but right down there. And then Taz Kid, I think he gets decent damage now. I think maybe a bit harsh putting him right at the bottom. But yeah, okay for resources and doing some damage. Then we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 17. So as you can see there, the finishing numbers, the batch 1, 13, batch 2, 13, batch 3, 9. So batch 3 and batch 5 are the lowest out of the lot, considered the worst batches for me anyway. Then we've got quite a few on like 13, 12, where you've got batch 1, batch 2, batch 4, batch 6, where you've got maybe 1 or 2 bots that you might want to go for, a couple that you might be happy with, but outside of that, too many average bots. Then you've got obviously batch 7 to sort of around, I'd say batch 7 to batch 13, where you can't really go wrong. There's some good bots throughout them really, and some average bots as well. No real awful bots apart from Strafe, you can see there that they kind of started hitting a sort of level of quite a few alright bots and only 1 meta bot in each batch. And then we sort of came to 14. I think they did quite poor with batch 14. Came back with number 15, sort of hit some half decent bots in there, especially with Slug, which sort of bumps the numbers up. Then obviously batch 16, they absolutely knocked it out of the park. Absolutely unbelievable. If anyone asks me which batch should I go for, the answer is batch 16 right now. That might change, but I think that sort of emphasizes that these sort of things need to be nerfed maybe and changed because we've got such a high rated batch. And if we can get this to 17 where one or two of these are down to just good rather than absolute meta, then I think that, you know, you should think about it. These three get down to here maybe, and then you've kind of got it in the right space because you got 17 out of 25. It's quite a good batch other than Huffer really, and it's still probably the best batch to go for as well because there's not a bad bot in it. And then we've got the latest batch, obviously one of the worst batches around. Lightspeed and Metal Hawk obviously raising it up, but outside of that, some really poor bots, and hence why the low score. So let me know what you think in the comments. Have I got any of these wrong? Is any of these you would put higher, any lower? And let me know why as well. Not just say like, oh, I think this should be higher, but why is it? How do you use it? What do you use it for? Do you use it something different than I would use it? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you guys use it and why you would see it a bit higher, a bit lower. Let's have a look what everyone's put in. Obviously, a lot of talk. So first off, Crossroads asked when will these change happen to the balance changes. The next update was probably about a month's time, I reckon, yeah. Yeah, kind of like, alright, I just put what the last batch rating and took an hour. Yeah, I went through every single bot too much. That's why I sort of fired through it this time a bit more. Traxxas put Silbot is way better than Grimlock and is in meta more and more. Well, this is the thing though. Don't forget, Grimlock was only doing 6% damage reduction before. He's now got 80. He's got the same as Pipes now. Because it wasn't working right. I've been trying him out. Go and try Grimlock out, guys. Yeah, Blaze 8N has put, I used to use Gnaw all the time. Now I don't use much at all. Yeah, same. Put Barricade is badass, one of my favourites, aka Drift. Yeah. Who is Magnus's? Oh yeah, Galvatron. But Galvatron's actually pretty decent. Yeah. Trax has put Sludge is making a comeback on front loaded bases. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Randall Hamilton's put Silverbot is awesome in my opinion. Yeah, I'd say I rate him, but I don't really use him that much because these anti-stun cores are all over the show. Blaze's 8N. I'm assuming these ratings are based on max and SA11. Yeah, sadly we have to. Obviously, I play at the high level of the game, so yeah, I do. It's hard to judge it at a lower level because obviously then it depends on where you war, and every bot is going to be poor at a high level of the game, so it's kind of where you've got to judge it, really, to be fair. Algorithms put, I hate Impact so he dies too fast. Yeah, hence why he's sort of where he is, but he does good damage though, so you can't really like be too harsh. Yeah, sorry, I sorted it out. I did notice. You couldn't see the rest of the batches. Blazes 8N. How do these results compare to previous ratings? You can go and take a look. If you go on my channel and look up 5-star ratings, you'll find it. Steve Pierce has put Red Alert and Swoop in the same category as Bumblebee is absolutely criminal. 2 prime op bots versus 1 trash bot nobody uses. You'd be surprised. People are starting to use B a bit more actually now because he's super cheap and people are sort of like, you'll find that points are a bit hard to come by, but Swoop on offense, you will not see anyone use Swoop on offense. Anyone at a high level at all. If we're putting us on defense bots, so yeah, Red Alert and Swoop, we'd maybe put them higher. But if you're putting them on offense, I'd actually put them lower than B. I really would, honestly. Hardly ever used. Autobot, Philspot, how is air raid that high? What am I missing? Go and try them out. Yeah. Yeah, and Chase Lucky's put high damage, no counter, and cheap. Exactly that. Yeah. Autobot, Philspot, we have to have someone set his ability off. Yeah, you do. But if you have on a build bot and using a smoke screen for 6 ability points plus 3, that's 9, you can destroy a massive area. Honestly, a huge area. Trax has put Scatter Shot works in wars with everyone starting to drop anti-acid cores. They're dropping them? Really? I would be. And Track for Lancaster Sport World is awesome. He's a great starter with his acid and better than using 2-star bots to clear mines. I don't know. I don't rate him at all personally. Also, what Phil's put when the nerf Leo Prime, I could see Will being invaluable with him. Similar range and similar attack shapes combine acid and fire. That's if you presume he's keeping the same range. Who knows? Jeffrey's put, do you think we'll ever get the G.I. Joe bots in 5-star? Well, yeah, every bot will be a 5-star eventually. It's a matter of when, isn't it? Justin Brilliant's put, still seeing Rodimus on an occasional Prime League Harm or PL teams. Send me a video if you do, I can cover it, because I've not really seen him much. Chase Lucky's put, don't forget Tracks and Trailbreaker. What do you mean? Don't forget Tracks, they're not 5 stars. Along with Hoist. Yeah, but Hoist is 5 stars. Point making 5-star rating. Can't rate Tracks and Trailbreakers only 4 stars. Steve Pierce, but if they go with the nerf, go big with the nerf, I'm just gonna walk away from the game. It's up to you, buddy. I get it, but it's up to you. Blazers 8 Air has put many war teams use the same core and bots. Hopefully that changes mean a bit more variety. I think that's the aim. Yeah. Dread81's put, yeah, I go for 90% combiner bot. War bots are a bonus. Com player here. Yeah, I get that some of these batches will be different for you because you'll see some of them and think that's a combiner bot and it's more important, but yeah. Jason Rose put Rhinox should be up there with Smokey. No, definitely not. You're dreaming. You're absolutely dreaming. You don't see Rhinox in any top teams at all. I almost said not many. You don't see Rhinox in any top teams. But you see Smokey in half of them, I would say. Randall Hamilton, any meta 4 stars that you can rank up? Yeah, Tracks. Cup. Definitely. Tracks has put Silver can take out most defense and has the range. Yeah, there's no anti-stun cores. Slug and Pirates, very good combo and cheap, I agree. Chase Lucky's put Tracks and Trailback out using Prime. Maybe you're in Cyber Wars, but we're doing 5-star ratings. 5-star batch ratings. They're not in a 5-star batch. That's why they're not being rated. Justin Brilliant's put, with more variety, I can see Trailbreaker and Smokey plus Tracks on the same squad would be nuts. Probably would actually, yeah. Also, what Phil's put, now that I have Blue Streak, I'll try that technique. Do you mean with Air Raid? A bit more expensive though, but yeah, still can do it. Mark Cooper's put, Soundwave and Blaster need some more love. Easy fix. More health, rework the G1 and give them a boost. Yeah. Ialgoritm's put, I think Brainstorm is Air Raid with AoE. The big difference is Brainstorm does about half the damage that Air Raid does, but you can trigger Brainstorms twice, but you get the same sort of effect. So I think the cost is a bit offset there. I sort of speak to this about Dale about Air Raid versus Brainstorm, the cost being a bit weird. Brainstorm should be cheaper than Air Raid. It does not have the range of Air Raid. It has the same effect, but half the damage of Air Raid, so it makes no sense. But it does have slow. So maybe even having the same, maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, and Blazers 8N has put, he agrees with Cooper about the Soundwave and Blaster with Ravage and Nightstalker maybe getting a buff if they use together. It's a good idea. It's good. And Andrew Stevenson, thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Cheers, bud. Cool. Okay, let's have a look at 5-star Titans, eh? Okay, proviso. This is not finalized, guys. This is still in testing. It's still early days. This could take quite a while. We haven't got an event yet set up for these. But it's just giving an idea on where we're currently at with 5-star Titans. What we can kind of expect. It's just a guesstimate right now of what we can kind of expect. But it's just good to show you guys what sort of it entails. So obviously Metroplex is the only 5-star combiner currently being spoken about, but we'll get all 5-star combiners eventually as we go through. So the 5-star ability hasn't changed, it's still the same, but it says Metroplex stomps the ground and creates a shockwave, dealing 2,795 damage to all targets on its path and 9,783 damage to your final target. 30-second cooldown. Now currently the 5-star ability is doing a bit too much damage. So what's happened is it's doing the 2,795 damage to all targets, including the final target, and 9,783 to the final target. So currently it's doing about 12,500 damage to the final target. So that could change as a warning. But like we said, 9,783 damage is still pretty decent with a 30-second cooldown. There is talk of getting all of them down to a 30-second cooldown, as you can see, and this talk of just making them sort of a bit more clearing up a bit. So there's times where they don't look at where they're firing and things like that. So that's going to be cleaned up as well. What will happen as well is the it says activate base Titan base effect. I can't remember how to do that though, but I believe that's going to be increasing. It does say I think it's beam damage and laser damage increases. That's going to increase to 40%, which I think is 30% on the 4-star version. So that will increase the beam laser damage on defense and any beams that you use on attack up by another 10% as well. But when we look at the health of the Titan, you see there 160,000 health and 2,800 damage, call it, at level 25, because yes, the cap will increase. But then we compare that to Fortress Maximus. You can see there that it's quite a big health jump from 122 to 167 and 2k damage to 2,800. I'm not going to compare it to Arc because I accidentally leveled Arc to 21. Just jumped to Arc rather than Metroplex, so it's a bit of a skewed comparison. But you can see there that Metroplex far outweighs any other Titan in terms of HP and DPS, and I think even without these abilities, you're still looking at a massive increase, obviously, as well. And obviously, as we increase, these abilities will increase as well. So you'll be able to take out shield gens better as well, and could be essential for HQ19. But by HQ19, I suspect we'll have all 3 Titans as 5 stars. And so you've got to start to think, with the shield gen getting an upgrade, having more HP, will we use Metroplex? Will we go straight back to Arc again, but then being the strongest out of the 3 Titans? But they are looking at balancing Titans as well, where they spoke about this triangle effect, where every Titan beats another one, and the other Titan beats that one, and so every Titan is successful against the other ones. And there even is talk behind the scenes of being able to put one Titan on defense and have another Titan on offense, and not having to sort of switch both of them at the same time. That was something that sort of got questioned in the sort of bugs channel, so can we sort of fix that? So a lot of changes to the 5-star Titans coming. So let's have a look at him in battle. So let's put Chromia over here, and then we can watch the Titans. And then we've got the 5-star ability. So we're going to put it straight on the MDS, and you'll see all the damage in a line. See there? And then, boom, final target down. Let's fast forward. Go through it again. Let's take out the age core. Damage in an area. Bang. Final target. So we're getting a bit low on HP compared to other Metroplex. So we're going to use this one on the other Metroplex to get his HP down. See there, big chunk of health gone. And then big damage in an area. See there, almost took that MDS out with 2 hits. MDS down. And there you go. Can we get another 5-star ability off? And there you go. Like I said, obviously you will see that the HP of some of these buildings, you can see that the damage is quite off. Looking at it again. So you can see the HP of that building is 13.5k. HP of that is 13k damage. And then obviously, like we've shown before, when you actually look at the Titan, that it should be doing 9783 damage. So I imagine that will be fixed. So it won't actually take out the MDS. It won't take out many defenses, but will do great damage in an area. But with a 30-second cooldown being sort of the standard for all the combiners, I think, all the combiners' abilities, I think it's still essential combat. I think it's still essential content. I think the amount of damage it's going to be doing, it's going to take out other combiners very, very easily because of the high HP and DPS, plain and simple. And I think that once Fort Max comes out, then we'll be a bit more informed on making a decision on whether we have to go with Fort Max or not. But then I think that Arc will be essential combat content again. Then the big question is about the new Titan when it comes out and when that 5-star version will come out. That might even be after next Christmas, maybe. Who knows? But this year is obviously the year of 5-star combiners and 5-star Titans. Metroplex is the first on the list. Let me know, are you impressed? Do you think that they'll be so overpowered they're going to affect the game even more than what they already are and be the be-all and end-all to decide wars and decide battles? Are they too prevalent because of that they're deciding battles alone? But then again, it is a Titan. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you looking forward to 5-star Titans? Is it, if it's a 150k event, are you going to compete for this sort of content? Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know. Steve Pierce, but I can't believe we have to suffer Titan Assault again. Worst part of the game by miles. I agree. Definitely agree. And also, Phil's put Titan rock paper scissors. That's exactly what it is. Exactly, rock paper scissors. Yeah. Calvin L, what is the new max level for Titans? Can 4-star be leveled up as well without the 5-star part? I believe so. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure they said that 4 stars will be able to go to level 25 as well, but won't have the 5-star ability. Blazers AN is put not looking forward to seeing those smashing up my base along with 5-star combiners. I know that's the way it is, sadly though. And Blaze 19's put, if it's 100k, I'll have no problem competing. If it stays at 200, no thank you, you'll go back to being a mid-level player. I think it'd be 150. I said I'd rather have it at 125. I think it'd be 150. That's where I think I'll leave it at, 150k. So yeah, going off 150k, would you go for that? Let me know. Interesting. Right, okay, let's take a look at the new bots. So, the first thing to point out is that the bots are getting Armada Scavenger, which was a bit weird because you look at the colours and you think, oh, right, yeah, that's a combiner bot for Devastator. So it's a bit weird that we're getting Armada Scavenger as an Autobot. Is that right? I don't know. Just seems a bit weird. And then have I got a 5-star? So I've got the other bot. Then Armada Wheeljack has also got the Autobot sign, which is a bit weird. Does a cross for it mean Decepticon? I don't know. I'm not big Armada fans. Let me know in the chat. Does this make sense to you? That they cross fractions? I don't know. It's a bit weird. But yeah, I presume that the Decepticons are getting Armada Wheeljack. Strange one. But let's take a look at the ability. So, as with most other warriors, you've got gains 80% health and 80% damage absorption for 10 seconds while slowly moving into combat. We just talked about sort of ratings, and you can see there that it sort of works the same as Slug and the same as Pipes, as most other warriors. For 6 seconds, every 1% health lost temporarily increases their special ability damage by 7.5%, up to 150%. That sounds a lot. After charging up, they strike the ground, dealing 3 times their total special ability damage in a small area. Now, when I did this, I thought, great, a warrior with damage. Something a bit different. 51,000 health, 400 DPS. It's not bad. It's okay. I don't mind it. And so, I think a big point of that is that we see for 6 seconds, every 1% health lost increases special ability damage by 7.5%. But it's a bit confusing because after they charge up, they strike the ground dealing 3 times their total special ability damage. So it's 7.5. Is it up to 450% then? It's a bit confusing, the ability to monitor knowing what it actually does. So then we've got ability 11. Let's upgrade it to ability 11. It now reflects 10% damage back to attackers, while the ability damage absorption is active, and temporary special ability damage charging rate and maximum charge is also increased by 33% as well. Let's get some Zed energy in a minute. Can't imagine E, what's going to order some. There we go. Is that enough? I think so. Nope. What? Oh, is it? What's the thing, isn't it? Forgot. There we go. There we go. Right, let's take him to battle and see how he is bugged. Every 1% health lost increases special ability damage by 0%. Great. Let's see how it goes. Drop Scavenger. So I said he's a warrior, but he seems to be doing quite a bit of damage from the sounds of it. So, but you want him to take damage so that he can do damage, because he obviously has to charge up. So let's give him a go. So you see, I put lots of beam lasers, cannons, turrets around to try and increase as much as we can. So 4 plus 3 is not cheap but not expensive. So you can see here, look, damage in an area. So you see there, he's done enough to take the resource, the research building out, but not much damage. But let's do some damage over here. Let's just see, he's staying alive really well. Let's see if we can take these Spider-Mans out with damage. Not really, but let's send him a bit further and see if he can do some better damage if he goes further on. Because obviously the further he travels, the more damage he's taking. Taking loads of damage there. Damage there. You can see that he's doing about a third of a launcher damage. Let's go back to the cannon again. Try and take loads of damage. Taking loads of damage, like I said. How much damage to do to the cannon? And you see there, it's hard to touch the cannon really, and not done a big area of damage either. And to be fair, I know it says sort of 0% increase, but I was sort of seeing this before with ability 10 when I was sort of testing before 11, which I thought I'd see a big increase. And it does average area damage. When we sort of look at, he sort of does about 2.5k damage in an area. That's what it sort of works out as, taking loads of damage. But when you sort of compare that to other warriors, so we look at Pipes. So Pipes does 4,000 acid damage in an area. So it doesn't do as much damage as Pipes, and Pipes is 3 plus 1. If you compare to Slug, Slug does 4,000 fire damage. Granted over 12 seconds, but does 4,000 fire damage for 3 plus 2. So you can see here that we've already got bots that are cheaper. We've already got bots doing more damage. So what makes this bot special? Because it doesn't do much damage-wise. And then I thought to myself, we can easily compare him to what I would consider probably the king of damage in terms of warriors. And when we compare him to Grimlock, so let's do similar with Grimlock, see what we do here. So obviously he travels a bit faster, but he's got that shield and absorption like the other ones, runs in faster, damage in an area. So you can see there, he's doing more damage than Scavenger is already. For 3+2, runs in there to the cannon. Nearly takes out the spider mines, rush him up to the launcher there. Took about a quarter of the damage off Scavenger. See there, that launcher down to half damage. Rush him down here, still staying alive, you can see there. And look, almost cleared that area. So Grimlock far outweighs what Scavenger is doing. And let's do similar now. Let's use pipes for similar. So pipes here, you can see here, look, we've not even put a core on pipes. And let's see how pipes goes. Obviously, pipes has acid damage, which helps prevent healing as well. So we rush pipes into there. Acid damage over time. Gonna rush him into there. Then we're gonna rush him to the launcher. See there, he's done a quarter damage there. And then we're gonna rush it down to the cannon as well. And you can see that they've just started healing again. Just slightly less than Grimlock in actual damage. But Grimlock far superior than both, doing amazing damage in an area. So my big question is that when we sort of see this, and I'm going to quote something from playtest now, that the functionality causes DPS increase based on the number of hits taken. This results in defenses like beam lasers and autocannons giving a large increase due to the fire rate, while mortars and snipers on defense giving virtually nothing. The new tech addresses this, creates more ways for us to recharge and up. Simply need to look for densely defended areas to gain the best charge rate instead of trying to find areas covered by a high rate of fire defenses. So they're trying to create a warrior just good damage in an area, but there was talk about the bot not being balanced right, and they sort of said in testing that if they're to give it more damage, you have to take the shield away, and I don't understand that at all, because I'm trying to find the bit where it says this. So it says here, if we remove the shield, we would instead give you a charge every 5% health lost instead of 1%. This is part of the balance and does not change how you are supposed to use this bot's ability. But if you remove the shield, you will charge in and die and have quite a lot of damage. But this is what worries me about the game, what they don't understand. Is that they're saying, listen, we can't give you a lot of damage and a shield as well. It's just too overpowered. But we've already got a bot in the game that does that. We've already got bots in the game that have decent damage and have the 80% shield and 80% absorption. So why can't you give this to the new bot? Because they're scared it's going to be overpowered? But you've already got it in the game. And this is my worry, that they have this sort of graph to go off, this sort of thing behind the scenes, and they go, oh, we can't give it that because that's going to be OP. But I wouldn't say Grimlock is OP. I wouldn't say Pipes is OP maybe, but, you know, but we're sort of creating new content around things that are already in the game and bringing them out not as good. We've already got a bot that does 5k damage in an area and has the health and absorption. So why not? That's my worry. Granted, we don't have the G1 core yet for Scavenger, but I don't think a G1 core is obviously going to double his damage or triple his damage overnight. It's not going to happen. And so sadly for this bot, I just feel like it's a bot to miss. I can't see him being part of a combine or anything. Yeah, it's going to save you a 5-star pull, but it's not going to hit in your war team. If it's going to hit your war team, then my argument will be, why not get Grimlock? For newer players, maybe it's alright, but again, you've got Pipes, you've got Slug, you've got Ironhide, you've got so many better warriors. It goes so far down on the list. I would go as far as saying this new bot at the minute is the worst of the 80% health and absorption shield bots. I would maybe even put it down with below Jumpstream because she has 100% health or health and shield. Definitely behind even 4-star Sideswipe. I'd even put him behind Sideswipe as a 4-star. That's how poor I think it is. It's not just me being negative, it's just again we've got something else in the game that is better. This bot should blow everything out of the water and go, listen, this is the best warrior in the game, or up there with them, or offer something different. If that's what they're going for shield and damage, it should do the best damage in the game with that same shield as everyone else has. And it's just falling very, very, very short of that right now. And sadly, we've only got a few days left because it is a bank holiday, and so we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I feel like this bot is going to be balanced while people are going to be playing the game for it. People are going to be getting this bot, winning this bot, and they're still going to be balancing it over the weekend next week. I feel that's how it's going to go, this bot. That it's not going to be ready on time. But we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully the apes can, or the Yodos, can make some changes, make it a good bot, bring it up to speed with everything else, get this idea that they have to remove the shield to increase the damage, and then see where we go from there. Fingers crossed. Oh, Jeffrey's put Wheeljack was left in battle and switched sides. That makes sense then. So why is Scavenger switch sides? Explain that to me. Uzi Gamer 3 has put, it's not weird, it makes sense since these are from Armada. I don't know, I've never seen Armada. I'm not a big Armada fan at all. So yeah. Cuddy Fox has put, I've been a lurker for a while. I'm so glad they are bringing Scavenger into the game. Even though I think other bots would be better for this month. Yeah, maybe. Matt Cooper's put, surprised the bots weren't Hot Shot and Demolish them. Yeah, me too. I was surprised. 81's put, rank up Grimlock. It's a test account. It's not my actual account, but. Blade 19's put, Pipes had not been on him. Grimlock had G1 and combat, of course, he was going to do more damage. Yeah, but even if you put something else on Pipes, it wasn't going to do as much damage. Blades 8N has put, is he designed for teaming up so a partner has more impact? I don't think so. And if we think about him on defense, even so, sometimes I don't think about this when I'm sort of talking to you guys, and later on I go, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. But let's think about him on defense. So on defense, gains thing, damage reduction, blah blah, maneuvering in for 6 seconds, every 1% health lost, increased special ability damage. So yeah, it'd be average on defense, but I don't know. Uzi Gamer 3 has put, I hope we see Armada Optimus and Jetfire Combiner. Interesting. I didn't know there was one. Yeah. Dread 81's has put, for reasons unknown, I've seen Armada and it was never clear why Scavenger wasn't Autobot. They never had the other Constructicons. Alright, interesting. Strange one. Yeah. Yeah, very strange. Let's I want to do some testing actually around this Grimlock thing because 5,000. Let's put some other HP things in here a minute so we can try and see what's going on. Cooper's put quite a few switch sides in Armada. Okay, good to know. So let's have a look. So we've got 5,000 health there, 2,900 health there. Spider-Man. It's got 5,125 health, 5,800 health, 8,300 health. So let's have a look at Grimlock here a minute. Let's test this out. I want to see Grimlock's damage. Let's send him in there, see what it takes out. See what it does. So 3,800 damage doing. 3,800 damage. So this is the annoying thing though, is that you've got Titan Trek Tree, which I don't really know what Titan Trek Tree does. But 3,800 damage. And it says 4851. But is it because this is not working right? I think Dale said that's not working right, so that's still 4,200 damage. You're still doing less than what you should, really. Well, let's do the same with Pipes. So Pipes is doing what supposedly? 3941 acid. 3941. Yeah, should do a bit of help on that. I should take that out. Let's have a go. Interesting. Just seems like Grimlock's not doing damage that it should, really. That's the difference. Both very similar. So Grimlock doing 4,200. And Pipe's doing 3941. So, interesting. Mark Cooper's put, I'm hoping for Sideways. They can make the different heads of combat for different factions and introduce minicons. Well, they kind of got minicons, haven't they, I think? They've got a few minicons in there, I think. Looking at them, where are they now? Yeah, I think it's still got in with the likes of Windstrike with your minicon. Who else? I'm pretty sure there's some minicons in there already in the game. Pretty sure. Could be wrong, like I said, because I'm not a big Armada fan, so I couldn't comment at all. But okay, that is it for this week, guys. So appreciate everyone for tuning in. We'll be back next Thursday with another stream covering obviously the new bots, update to them, and any updates behind the scenes as well. Joining every Thursday, guys. I know it's a Saturday right now, but you know, every Thursday, guys, we stream and cover the news, cover the hot topics, and whatever you guys sort of hope for. So if you've got any ideas, then stick it in my Discord channel or tag me somewhere. And just, there was I've got an idea for video, and let me know. There's lots of rating videos, some more of that coming. A lot of them available to members. You want to see them, become a member, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit a like on the video before you leave. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out, everyone.